So go ahead and make your way into a comfortable seat. And let's cross the ankles and feel free to prop your hips up on a pillow, a blanket, if that offers you a little more comfort in the hips and the low back. We're not gonna start the playlist just yet. I'll let you know when we'll start it. Let's just find a few moments of quiet. So go ahead and just rest your hands on your thighs or your knees or in your lap and just find a tall spine. So really anchor down into your sit bones and lengthen up through the crown of your head. Let's take a cleansing breath together. So with some sound, really just sigh it out. And take a nice deep inhale through your nose, fill up, open and sigh. If you need a few more of those, feel free to take them. Almost just like a signal to the brain that we're settling into our practice, that we've arrived. Just starting to find presence. Try to relax the shoulders a bit, unclench the jaw. And just begin to welcome yourself. And your eyes are soft. And just begin to bring awareness to your navel. And just begin to breathe a little deeper in and out through your nose. With that focus on your center, right at the navel space. Here, just a little bit longer. Right, a super efficient way to just start to warm the body from within is to just focus on the breath, and specifically when we have awareness right at our midline, right at our navel space. And even if it might help to bring a hand to the low belly and feel the breath. And then before we begin to move a little more, let's take a cleansing breath in through the nose. Out the mouth, exhale. Feeling low belly tone right at the bottom of your exhalation. And then go ahead and blink the eyes open. We're gonna start the playlist and come right up to stand on the feet. Come right into Mountain Pose Tadasana. Take your feet about hip distance apart and bring your arms down along your sides. Your palms are gonna face forward, spread your fingers and start to anchor down into your feet. If you lost a little bit of the rhythm of your breath, come back to it. Smooth and steady, in through your nose, out through your nose. And the eyes can stay closed or just find a nice soft gaze right off the tip of your nose. Nice neutral neck, long spine. Maybe lift all 10 toes up, spread them nice and wide and sit them back down. You might even do that like one toe at a time. Good, really ground. And then just take your first two fingers and press into your thighs. Make sure your thighs are active. They're turned on, the muscles are engaged. Arms come back down along your sides. Stand a little taller. Awareness to navel space, breathe in and out. Yes, it's really warm outside. It might even be warm in your home right now, but you're breathing and you're starting to create heat within. A different heat, right? One more breath here. And then super slow, just reach your arms straight up overhead. Pretend you have a block between your hands, and I want you to just squeeze that block as you lengthen the tailbone down. Try to take any back bend out of the spine. Just reach straight up, anchor the tail down. Good, take another big inhale. And then just start to bend your knees and fold forward nice and slow, all the way out and over Uttanasana. Nice soft knees. Good. Let it hang for just a moment. Notice how the backs of the legs feel. Use your inhale to come up halfway, maybe hands to shins. And your exhale to fold it in, soft knees. Good. 2 more just like that. Inhale, halfway lift. Ardha. Beautiful. Exhale, fold. 1 more time, guys. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice long spine, no need to rush. And then fold it in. Plant your hands and just step back into downward facing dog. Good. Really nice. And then walk your feet back a little so your down dog is a little longer and you can really feel that release in the lumbar spine and the low back. Good, nice. Feet are hip distance apart. Awareness at the low belly. Take just 2 more breaths. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. In through your nose, out through your nose. Sweet, sweet breath. And then empty out completely. Rise up to your toes, look to your hands, and just walk forward. Doesn't have to be fancy. Just take a walk to the top of your mat and take that halfway lift on your breath in. Good. Exhale, empty out and bow. Inhale, come all the way to stand. Arms reach up overhead. Maybe pretend you still have that block, squeeze it in. And then as you exhale, bring your arms down along your sides, mountain pose. Beautiful. Inhale, the arms go straight up. Exhale, fold forward. Maybe a little slower than you want to. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, step back, down dog. Good. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Feel the balls of your feet ground down into the earth, and maybe the heels energetically starting to move a little closer to the mat, but not making that your focus tonight. That longer down dog to give you more of a release, more of a stretch. Feel it. Good. 1 more breath in and out. You guys look great. Rise to your toes, look to your hands, make your way to the top. You can hop, step, float. Take your halfway lift on your inhale, and then exhale, bow. Good. Inhale, rise to stand. Arms reach up overhead. Nice. Exhale, hands to your heart or arms to your sides. Now let's add a little bit. Inhale the arms up. As you exhale, fold forward, hinge at your hips. Good. As you inhale, come up halfway. As you exhale, plant your hands, step to plank pose this time. And then we're gonna go knees, chest, chin. So drop the knees, drop the chest. Good. Then the chin comes down, lengthen, stretch out the neck, the throat, and then slide into a gentle cobra pose. Tops of the feet down, lift the heart, elbows in, exhale, release. Let's go back child's pose. Knees wide, toes together. Third eye to the earth. And ground. And breathe. As you inhale, rise up into table pose, hands and knees, and start to move through a few cat-cow. So just with your breath, it can be super slow. Inhales, tilting the tailbone up, opening up the throat and the heart. Exhales, we tuck and round. Good, few more rounds on your own. Nice. We're gonna meet in a plank position, guys. So come into a nice strong plank. Ground the hands, spread the fingers. You can always drop the knees. Listen to your body. Draw the navel in, lengthen the tailbone towards the heels, but draw the heart forward just a bit so you're not dumping it down. Press the mat away as much as you can. Protract the shoulders. You've got 2 more breaths. In through your nose and out through your nose. If you get overheated or just lots of stagnant energy, you can always exhale through your mouth. Good. Down dog on your exhale, hips high. Really nice. Really, really nice. Good. 2 breaths. Always returning to your center. Empty out the breath. Rise to your toes, look to your hands, make your way to the top. Take your halfway lift on your inhale and exhale, fold. Let's come into a yogi squat. Just give a little love to the hips before we begin to move a little more. Turn the toes out and the heels in. See if you can bring your hands into your heart, your elbows to your inner thighs to gently press back and lengthen. Nice, Sammy, good. And just a little longer through the spine if you can. Nice long neck, no tension. Good. Nice deep breath in through your nose. Exhale, fingers down, hips high, standing forward fold. Uttanasana. Good. As you inhale, come up halfway. Nice long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Let's go right into chair, guys. Bend your knees, drop your seat. Reach your arms up overhead. Good. Maybe the toes lift. Just notice where your energy is in your feet. Arch is lifting. Scoop out the low belly. Good. 1 more full round of breath. And then interlace your hands behind your low back. Come into a forward fold from here. Knees can bend. Gently opening up the shoulders, not forcing. Good, Megan. Bend your knees a little more if you need it. Let this be more about shoulders, less about hamstrings. And then 1 more breath here. Good, release that clasp. Allow your fingers to come down to the floor. Take your halfway lift, inhale. Good, exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Now if you like knees, chest, chin, take it again. If not, move through your half vinyasa, lower halfway or all the way. Upward facing dog or cobra, soft bend in your elbows. Downward facing dog, exhale. Good. Step your right foot up between your hands, please. Come into this variation of warrior 1. So before you reach the arms up, just pivot and plant your back foot. Good. Square off the hips and start to bring your right hand to the inside of your right foot. Okay, so right hand to the inside. This is where a block might come in handy. So you can slide that block underneath, inside of the foot, and then start to bring your left hand to your left hip. Roll your chest back by lifting your gaze up. Good. Once you're here, extend the left arm up overhead. Breathe. So it's not extended side angle. It's a shorter stance. It's a different variation of getting you out of your head and maybe out of some patterns. Into your breath, into the moment. Breathe. Drop the hips a little. Draw the right hip back a little. It's that warrior 1 stance. It's a tough one. Let's take 1 more breath. As you exhale, both hands are going to come down around your right foot. Then we're coming into warrior 1. So adjust your hips a little, maybe your feet just a tiny bit. Inhale the arms up overhead. Good. Draw your right hip back a little bit. Draw your left hip forward. Draw your navel in. Sink a little deeper into that right thigh. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, hands come down around your right foot. Step to plank. Drop the knees if you need to. Elbow shave the ribs as you lower down. Upward facing dog or cobra, your choice. Tops of the feet ground down. Downward facing dog on your exhalation. Press it up and back. Good. On your next exhale, step your left foot forward, right up between your hands. Help it if it gets stuck. Grab your block if you need it. Left hand to the inside of the left foot. Don't rush. Ground the back foot. It's at that 45-degree angle. Nice deep bend in the left knee without the knee going past the ankle. Right hand to right hip, roll the heart open. Once you feel good here, right arm extends up overhead. Gaze lifts, breathe. It's different. Let it be. Just focus on the breath and the bandhas. Nice. Anchor the tailbone down a little bit. And then lean back a little if you can. Use your block if you need it. Good. On your next exhale, hands are going to surround the left foot, and then we're going to prepare to lift up into warrior one. Take your time. Arms reach. You guys look great. Really nice. Good, Kate. Good. See if you can deepen that front thigh a little. Draw your left hip back just a bit. Right hip forward just a bit. Good. Just these little micro adjustments to sink in a little deeper. Find your edge. Breathe. Nice. As you exhale, hands come down around the left foot. You're stepping back, plank pose. Moving through a vinyasa, you might just hold plank. You might just press back down dog. This is your hour, right? Your practice. It's so important that you tune in and that you take what you need. Really nice. Rise up to your toes, look to your hands. Make your way to the top of your mat. Hop, step, float. We're gonna go right into chair. Bend your knees, sit back, arms reach, Utkatasana. We won't hold for super long, I promise, but feel it for 2 more breaths. Good. Drop the seat a little more if you can. Exhale, forward fold. Nice. Take your halfway lift, get some length in your spine. Good, and then as you exhale, fold it in. Now guys, listen, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna step the left foot back and come into triangle pose. So from the ground up. Legs start to straighten out, don't rush. Right hand comes to a block. The foot, the shin, nice and slow, left arm starts to peel up to the sky. So you step the left foot back, so we're triangle right side, Utthita Trikonasana. Good. Nice. Really activate the legs here. It's easy for us to hyperextend in this pose. Turn the muscles of the leg on so there's a tiny micro bend in the knee. Looking up and leaning back. Heart open, head back. 1 more breath in. Exhale, hands come down around your right foot. You're spinning to the ball of your back foot and stepping it back a little bit. Right arm goes up to the sky for dragonfly twist. Good. Muscles engaged. If you need to drop the back knee, drop the back knee. Breathe. Focus on the twist here. Right arm is going up, but we're lengthening through the spine on the inhalations and we're finding a little more rotation on the exhales. You're getting that length for that rotation on the breath in. Nice. Gaze up if you can. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Good. As you exhale, hands are gonna come down. Drop the back knee. Keep the toes tucked as you inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Anjaneyasana. So left toes tucked. Nice deep bend in this right knee. Squeezing into your center line. So there's a magnet between the thighs. I want you to squeeze in. Good. So instead of just kind of dumping into this big stretch, make it a little more active. Arms are reaching. Maybe the gaze is lifted slightly just to challenge the balance a bit. Really anchor into your right big toe mound. Good. Can you hear your breath? If you can't, Turn the volume up on it just a little bit. Focus at the muscles in the back of the throat, like ocean waves. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, hands come down around your right foot. We're going supported side plank. Send the right leg back and the right arm up. The right foot can ground or the right leg can lift. Good. You can bend your right knee, reach back and catch a bind if you feel a little more open in the spine. If you want to just lift the leg a little bit higher, flex the toes and activate through the hips a bit more. Good. Nice, guys. Love all those options. Really, really nice. Let's take another breath in. If you have the bind, slowly start to release. And as you exhale, right hand is going to come forward. Come into pigeon pose. Slide that right knee all the way through for pigeon. And before you just plop down, take an inhale here. Lift the chest, lift the heart, and then flex the feet into the floor. So I know we all love to just fold and stretch here, but I want this to be a little bit more active. Flex the feet, breathe. If you want to come down, come to your forearms. Keep it active with your breath. In through your nose, out through your nose. Navel to spine. Feet flexing into the floor. You're kind of still feeling that magnetic sensation between the thighs. It's almost like you're wanting to draw your right hip back just a little bit and the left forward. We'll be here a little bit longer. If you want to come all the way down, or if you want to grab a block to support you, we're going to take about 5 more breaths. Good. On your next inhale, nice and slow, start to come up onto your hands. Try not to rush. Spread the fingers nice and wide. You're going to tuck your left toes under. We're going to go 3-limb dog with a twist to kind of open everything up. So right leg goes up. You're just going to bend, twist, open. Kick your heel towards your glute. Maybe roll through the ankle and the hip a little bit. And then on your exhale, you're gonna step your right foot all the way back up between your hands and set up for pyramid pose. So this might be a spot where you want 2 blocks, or you might not need them at all. Shorten your stance. You might even widen it from right to left just a bit. Legs are straight, lengthen, look forward. Good. Exhale, fold. Nice, Tina. Nice, guys. Love the use of the props. Beautiful. Navel to spine. Pelvic floor gently lifting. Focus on feeling each breath. Keep returning to your center. As you inhale, start to glance forward. Big pose, guys. Half moon. Take your block if you have one. Slide it to the right a little bit. Start to pick that left leg and left arm up and just do the best you can. It's a big pose. I don't always teach it in slow flow, but it's good for us to try new things, right? Flex the left toes back. Kick through the heel. Nice, mad. Good. Maybe the gaze lifts, but maybe not today. That's okay. Where are you? Breathe. Breath is always number 1. Good. Start to soften your right knee, put a bend. Take a step back with your left foot for triangle pose, all the way back to triangle. Straighten out your legs. You might have to adjust the feet a bit. Left arm goes up. Nice. Good, Amber. Really anchor through that back foot. Gazing up if you can, leaning back just a bit if you can. Nice, Sarah. I see you guys. Take a big inhale, open up. As you exhale, hands come down around your right foot, step back, plank pose. Take a vinyasa or meet me in downward facing dog. And then child's pose or seated just for a few breaths. If you prefer like Virasana or just seated. If you'd like to stay in down dog, you can. If you enjoy being a little more grounded, take child's pose. The breath is equal in volume and length. We'll take a few more resting breaths. Wherever you are, be all there. Nice. Rise up into table. Most of you lower to child's. Meet me in table. Take a few cat-cows just with your breath. Move through the spine just a little bit, and then we're going to meet in a down dog. You've got a few breaths to get there, no rush. Nice. Stretch through your arms, stretch through your legs. No tension in your neck. You might even take an opportunity here to kind of shake the head out, yes and no. Let go of any lingering tension. Good. Rise to your toes and look to your hands, and nice and slow, just make your way to the top of your mat. Come all the way forward. Good. Take your halfway lift. Nice exhale, forward folds. Malasana, yogi squat, toes out, heels in, hands to your heart. Notice if you feel like you've created a little bit more space with the breath and the movement. If you can sit up a little taller, roll the inner thighs back, maybe even lift all 10 toes. Good. Take an inhale here. Uttanasana as you exhale, hips high, heel toe your feet in. Just gonna take a nice easy twist. Walk your hands over to your right foot, peel your right arm up to the sky. Maybe bend that left knee a bit. Good, and just switch sides. Walk the hands over to the left foot, peel that left arm up. Good, left hand comes down. Just take a moment here, bend your knees quite a bit. Maybe take a hold of opposite elbows. Maybe just allow the head or the arms to dangle, however you feel good here. Just a few deep breaths, Uttanasana. Good. We're just gonna come up halfway on your inhale, maybe hands to shins, glance forward, nice long spine. Exhale, fold back in. Now maybe you heel toe your feet close together, big toes touch, bend, sit back, chair pose, Utkatasana. Good. Take an inhale, sink the seat. Exhale, forward fold, right back out and over. Good. Take your halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, step into plank pose. Good. From plank, you're gonna lower to your belly, so knees can come down if you need them to. And then inhale, gentle cobra. Good. Exhale, release. As you come all the way down, get a clasp behind your back. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the legs, Shalabhasana. Few rounds of breath. Good. Nice long neck, no tension. Take another breath in, maybe lift just a little bit higher. As you exhale, release. Hands come underneath the shoulders, press up table pose or right to that top of that push up, right into downward facing dog. Now that pose, that variation of Warrior One was new, but we're gonna come into it again so it feels a little more familiar. So step your right foot up between your hands, pivot and plant that back foot. Right hand comes to the inside of the foot. Hopefully you feel a little bit more comfortable as we take the left hand to the hip. Start to roll open with your gaze. Instead of cranking open, feel the gaze, send the left shoulder back, and then left arm goes up. Good. Nice. Belly in, tailbone lengthens towards the left heel. We're not gonna hold as long. Let's just take one more breath in. Good, as you exhale, hands are gonna come down and you're coming into warrior one now. So kind of reposition just a bit. Inhale the arms up overhead. Nice. Right into a shoulder opener. Get that clasp behind your tailbone, right at the low back. Get the knuckles to go down as you look up. Take it a little bit into a back bend. And then humble warrior as you exhale. Good, fold right to the inside of the right thigh. Nice. Again, just allowing the shoulders to open on their own terms without cranking or forcing. Keep the bend in the right knee. Good, Sammy. You guys look great. Really, really nice. Good. As you exhale, release your clasp. Bring your hands around your right foot. Now you can hop switch your feet or just step your right foot back and your left foot forward, second side. Warrior one variation, left hand to the inside of the foot. Pivot and plant the back foot. Right hand to right hip to roll open, then right arm goes up. Nice, Teresa. It's a doozy. Really anchor the back foot. Inner arch lifting, bandhas engaged. Nice. Can you sink a little deeper? What's there? Yeah. Exhale, hands come down. Set yourself up for that warrior one. Inhale, the arms go up overhead. Shouldn't need a ton of adjusting, but a little bit. Maybe palms come together for this one. Maybe gaze lifts slightly. Good. As you exhale, hands come down around your left foot. Step your right foot forward this time. Come right to the top of your mat. Take your Ardha, your halfway lift. Good. And then exhale, fold. Now step your left foot back. Come right into that triangle pose. Or I'm sorry, right foot this time. Right foot goes back. From the ground up's a little different, right? So we want to bear some weight in this left hand somewhere. To the foot, to a block, to the shin. Right arm goes up to the sky. Good. A block is not a crutch. I can't say that enough. Use it if you need it. It can help you get deeper into a posture. Nice. Lean the shoulders back a little bit. Lean the head back a little. Allow this to be a bit of a heart opener here. Not a back bend necessarily, but just a heart opener. Instead of collapsing through the chest. Maybe that means sliding your left hand up the shin a little higher. That's okay. Strong legs. Take a big inhale. Good. As you exhale, hands come down. We're going to set up for that dragonfly twist. So you come to the ball of the right foot and slide it back a little to widen, lengthen the stance. Left arm goes up. So does the gaze if it feels okay on your neck. Sometimes it could create a little bit of a pinch, gazing up, especially if you have any neck issues. So just be mindful of that. Strong legs here. You can always drop the right knee for a little more support. Focus on the twist, the wringing out. Good, Amy. Maybe the hips can sink just a little lower. Nice, Glenn. As you exhale, start to bring that left hand down. Drop the right knee, but keep the toes tucked. Come into a low lunge. Inhale the arms up. Right away, squeeze inner thighs in. Good. Maybe gaze goes up just slightly, but maybe not dropping the neck back or the head back too far. Keep the neck long and more neutral, if you will. Good. Ground into your left big toe if you feel a little bit dizzy, but you guys are a little bit wobbly, but you guys look good. Let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose. As you exhale, hands are going to come down. We're going to move back into that supported side plank. Left leg goes back, left arm goes up. Nice. Good. Nice smooth transition, guys. Take any variation that you feel called to, and I would suggest repeating what you did on the other side just to cultivate balance. So maybe that was a bind, maybe that was grounding the foot, feeling a little more stability. Good. Notice where the gaze is, and if you change it just a little bit, if it changes how you feel. Take a nice big inhale, open up, create some space. We're coming into pigeon. As you exhale, release, left hand to the top of the mat, left knee all the way up. Slide into it. Try not to rush in. Again, I want this to be a little bit more of an active pigeon. We're gonna do a cool down, I promise. So let this be a little more active maybe than normal, especially if pigeon comes a little, dare I say, easier to you. Really anchor the feet down. Squeeze the inner thighs in. Draw the left hip back just a little. Focus on where you feel it and then send your breath there for healing, for space. If you want to come down to the forearms, you can if you want to use a block. And then maybe you take a few deep breaths there and you take it a little bit further, but slow and steady. Good, keep coming back to your center, especially when the mind wanders off. Just breathing into that navel space. And to take about 5 more breaths. So if you haven't, I know it's more active, but if you haven't given yourself a chance to find a little bit of a release, to soften a little bit somewhere, do that now. A few more breaths. Good. On your next inhale, nice and slow, start to come up onto your hands. Take your time as you lift your chest. Good. Tuck your right toes under. We're going 3-limb dog. Left leg will go to the sky. Go right into that bend, twist, open. Drop the heel towards the glute. Circle through the ankle. Get some blood to flow through that hip. When you're ready, guys, use your exhale to step your left foot all the way through for pyramid pose. Shorten and maybe even widen the stance a little bit from right to left. Heel to heel might just be a little bit too much. Lengthen and fold in. There's obviously variations you can take here too. I love the use of blocks if you're really tight, or just for support. Good. You guys look great. So nice. Good. Use your next inhale to start to glance forward. We're coming into half moon. So if you need to adjust your block a little bit, you're going to lift your right leg up. Right arm goes up. Kind of like that warrior one variation. Maybe you just bring right hand to hip first. See what's there. Breathe. Right, you might be on carpet, you might feel a little bit wobbly, that's okay. It's like an extra challenge, right? Just another layer, good stuff. You guys look awesome, really nice. It's a big pose, breathe. Start to soften your left knee, step back triangle pose, coming all the way back to it. Straighten out the legs, good. Nice. You guys look great. Use your block if you need it. Soft bend in the knees so you can feel the muscles engaged, just like we did in Tadasana. You might take your finger and just poke at the legs, and I know it seems silly, but sometimes we just need that reminder. Hey, muscles, turn on, right? So I'm not dumping into joints. I'm actively working here. Breathe, open up. We've been here before. Good. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, gaze down, plant your hands. Good. Step your right foot up to the top of your mat. Take a halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, fold. One last time, yogi squat. Take your time. Toes out, heels in. I'm going to offer a little variation in this. You can take just traditional Malasana. If you want to open up through the shoulders and the upper back, bring your hands down and turn the fingers back. So fingers start to point back, and you're going to slide one hand through between the feet, the other side too. So fingertips point back, and you're just going to allow the head to hang heavy here. This might be kind of hard to see. I'll turn to the side just in case you're really confused. So fingertips back, hands between the legs. That might be way too much. If it is, maybe fingertips are just down. Breathe. Good. Start to slowly release out of that. Walk the hands through. Come up for an inhale here to lengthen. And then Uttanasana as you exhale, standing forward fold. Maybe heel toe the feet in a bit. Good. You guys look awesome. Take a halfway lift. And exhale, plant your hands. You've got one last vinyasa or meet me in downward facing dog. Good. Nice. Lift the heart. Beautiful. And then Adho Mukha, hips high. Lion's breath 3 times. Really cleanse and clear. Big inhale through your nose. Stick the tongue out and good. 2 more on your own. Don't be shy, right? Really let it go. With some sound, stick the tongue out. It's different than just exhaling through the mouth. After that last round, go ahead and lower your knees. We are going to come to seated just for a few breaths in Virasana. So if you've got that block, it might feel nice to slide it underneath you. You can have any height you choose, right? High, low, medium. So thighs are closer together, feet separate, and we're going to sit right between the heels. Pretty deep internal hip rotation, so if you feel any pulling in the knees, please don't hesitate to just release from this and maybe sit back on the heels with everything together. Hands rest on the thighs. Good, sitting up nice and tall, maybe a hand to the heart, a hand to the belly. What's going to bring you back to your center? What's going to ground you? So if you're on a block and you've taken a few breaths and you want to take it a little bit deeper, you're just going to remove your block and come all the way down. If you've been all the way down and you feel open and comfortable, you're going to start to recline. Super, super slow, and I can't stress enough how important it is to not recline unless you feel absolutely comfortable with no pain in your knees, no tugging in your knees. You're going to come back nice and slow. Maybe just down onto your hands or your forearms. You might be able to come all the way back. If that's way too much, again, you're just upright. We're breathing together. We're feeling. Good. Honor where you are without judgment for where that is. We have to enjoy and embrace the journey, or it's just going to pass you by. Let's take 3 more breaths. If you are reclined, really slow, be mindful of using your bandhas, your hands, to start to lift you all the way back upright. And then hands come forward as you lift up onto your knees and you just sway a little bit right to left. Maybe some cat-cow, maybe some body circles. Just getting some fresh oxygen to the hips. Put a little back to wherever it needs to go. Really nice. And then we're going to meet in a seat on the sit bones. So go ahead and swing the legs around or cross the ankles and roll over your feet. Just stretch your legs straight out in front of you. If you want a pillow or blanket underneath your hips like we started, you can just reach back and remove any flesh from your sit bones. So we get that tilt in the pelvis. And instead of reaching the arms up, I want you to just bring your fingertips forward out in front of you and just really slow start to walk forward. Maintain length in your spine. And when you get to a space of resistance, then just drop the head, but keep the length in your spine. Keep drawing your heart or even just the crown of your head towards your feet. And know that if you activate the thigh muscles, it's going to release tight hamstrings. So see what's there. If it needs or feels like it needs to be more passive today, that's okay. 3 more breaths in and out. Maybe look forward on your next inhale. Go a little deeper on your exhale. Good. And then as you inhale, start to slowly come all the way up, and then we're gonna come onto the back. So go ahead and come right into happy baby pose. When you get down onto your back, take a hold of the soles of your feet. Good, knees towards the armpits. This should feel really nice. You might even find a nice gentle sway here from right to left. Good, make sure that you can still hear the breath. We're not in Shavasana quite yet. We are gonna start the cool down, but stay with your breath. Good. Start to come back through to center if you're rocking, and just draw the knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug, squeeze. And then we're gonna lower the soles of the feet down, and we're just gonna take 1 back bend, you guys. Usually I like to do 3, but I'm running a little short on time, so let's just get 1 nice back bend in, whether it's bridge or wheel pose. Bridge or wheel for about 5, maybe 8 breaths. Feel energized. Definitely take an extra few breaths if you can here. Ground the feet. If you've got a block close, you might even place it between the thighs. Good. Nice. Really, really nice. A few more breaths. Maybe get a clasp underneath your low back. You did that shoulder opening. Hopefully you can feel it. Heart lifts. When you're ready on your last exhale, come on down nice and slow, vertebrae by vertebrae. Just take your feet wide and allow your knees to knock in. So keep that, coming back to some length in the spine. Maybe arms reach up overhead and they cactus out to the sides, and you feel the heart open. Maybe 1 hand to your heart, 1 to your belly. Breathe. Good, nice and slow. We're just gonna take the opposite posture. Start to heel toe your feet in so they come together to touch as you separate your knees. Knees are gonna fall out to the sides. Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly pose. Good. So feet together, knees open. Maybe you change the position of your arms. Come back to your center. Soften somewhere. Embrace the natural curvature of your spine here. Embrace the gentle opening of the hips. Soften through your jaw. Relax through your shoulders. These nice little reminders. Just stay with your breath. And then just using your hands to gently draw the knees back in towards one another and then into the chest. We're gonna keep it more gentle. We're gonna come into candlestick pose. Legs are gonna lift up overhead. Again, if you're really feeling energized, you can always take shoulder stand instead. But it's a hot one out there and I'm sure you're feeling it, so feel free to just come into that candlestick pose. Still a really great inversion. Low back down, legs lifted. Maybe you even massage through your legs with your hands. Good. Let's take a few more breaths. Good. You're going to start to bend your right knee and hug the right knee in as you send the left leg all the way down to the floor. So left leg all the way down, straight down. Right knee hugs in. We're going to come into a twist. So you're going to take your left hand to the outside of the knee and gently start to draw it across the body. Right arm goes over to the right. If it feels okay, gaze goes over to the right. Good. Don't feel like you have to tug on that knee. Just placing the hand on that leg is going to offer a little bit of weight and intensify it just a bit. Good, nice and slow, you're gonna come back through to center. Maybe give that knee just a little hug in. And then we're gonna switch sides. So left knee will hug in, right leg will go all the way down. Just give it a little squeeze. A little release of the low back and we move into that twist. Take that knee across the body, left arm goes over to the left. Maybe the gaze does as well. Maybe you close your eyes. And again, not trying to pull that knee to touch anything, touch the floor, not trying to force anything. Just allow your body to take shape and allow the hand on the leg to just be that little bit of extra added weight to offer a little more of a stretch, a little more of a twist. A few more breaths. When things feel even for you, nice and slow, just start to come back through to center. Take your time. Both knees will hug in one last time. And I want you to feel like you have the freedom to take anything that you need before you come into your final pose of rest. So if there's something I didn't offer you and you feel like you need it, please take it. Any last little bit of movement. I know some of you really enjoy legs up the wall for Shavasana or a bolster underneath the knees. Any sort of prop. You might cover up your eyes with a shirt or a blanket or a towel. Whatever is going to support a nice, relaxing Shavasana. Good. Start to slowly move into stillness. Take a scan of your body and just notice how you feel. Allow your eyes to close if they haven't yet, and your face to soften, your shoulders to soften, your hands and your feet to relax, your legs and your arms, your hips, your chest. Allow your breath to come back to nature's pace. And allow just any distraction to be an opportunity for you to come back to your breath, for you to come back to presence, to rest. Begin to slowly just come back to your breath. No movement quite yet, just deeper breathing. And then when you're ready, just start to add in a little bit of mindful movement to fingers and toes. And start there and just allow that movement to grow a bit to wrists, to ankles, turning your head from side to side. Maybe blinking the eyes open, just taking a nice full body stretch. Arms are gonna reach up overhead, grow nice and long, and feel the space you created. And as you exhale, draw your knees into your chest. One last time, give yourself a nice big hug of gratitude for showing up. And then just make your way over to your left side and take a moment there to just pause, kind of curl into yourself. Another moment to just be still, to give thanks. And then slowly use your hands to press your way up and find a comfortable seat. And you can just keep your eyes closed, across the ankles, any supportive seat for you. And we'll join the hands at the heart, the thumbs coming right to the sternum. And bowing your head in towards your heart, gratitude for this beautiful practice. Elena Brower says that when you're at home in the center of yourself, there is a sweetness and a steadiness to your consciousness. Keep coming back to your center. Keep coming home. Take a deep breath in. Let it pour out. Thank you for being here, guys. Always. Namaste. Thank you.